Welcome to the Reality Revolution. Today I will reveal the secret laws of manifestation. Imagine having access to the hidden operating system behind reality itself. What if the true secret to manifestation isn't about vision boards or affirmations, but about understanding the fundamental laws that govern how reality responds to your consciousness? The difference between occasional manifestation luck and consistent, powerful results comes down to 10 secret laws that most people never discover. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on these laws, and they will forever change how you approach manifestation. Now, I have discussed the universal laws in a variety of episodes. Be sure to check out the Universal Laws playlist. And I've gone out and tried to find every major writing I could because these laws are important. They create the algorithm for reality creation. There's a law of gravity. We know that it works. We know that we must follow it. There are these particular laws built into the simulation that we're in. And if we can understand them, we can literally create anything. If you've ever wondered why manifestation works sometimes, but not others, if you followed all the standard advice but still feel stuck, if you're ready to go beyond basic law of attraction, this episode holds the missing pieces. These aren't recycled concepts. They're the distilled wisdom from over thousands of hours of interviews with masters, mystics, and quantum physicists. By the end of this video, you will understand the complete manifestation matrix that makes everything else work, and exactly how to apply it starting today. This is the information I wish I had from the beginning, the foundation that makes all other manifestation techniques actually deliver results. For those new here, I'm Brian Scott, host of the Reality Revolution podcast, where the past decade I've been on a mission to uncover the hidden mechanics behind manifestation and consciousness. I have interviewed hundreds of the world's foremost experts, from quantum physicists to spiritual teachers, from neuroscientists to ancient wisdom keepers. What I discovered is that while most teachers focus on techniques, the true masters understand these 10 fundamental laws that govern the manifestation process. I've tested these principles extensively, both personally and with thousands of students, and organized them into this complete system where each law amplifies the others. Today, for the first time, I'm sharing all 10 laws together in one comprehensive framework that you can begin applying immediately. Most manifestation teachings that you encounter are like individual puzzle pieces without the full picture. They focus on isolated techniques: visualization, which is great, affirmations, which work, gratitude, which is amazing, but rarely they explain the underlying system that makes these techniques work. It's like being taught how to use individual features on your smartphone without understanding the operating system that connects everything. This fragmented approach is why so many people experience inconsistent results. You might manifest something amazing one time, then try the exact same process and get nothing. That's because manifestation isn't about following a rigid formula. It's about aligning yourself with the natural laws that govern how consciousness interacts with reality. What I've discovered through my research is there are 10 distinct laws that create a complete manifestation system. Each law addresses a different aspect of the manifestation process, and they all work together synergistically. When you understand and apply all 10 laws, you create a powerful feedback loop where each law reinforces and amplifies the others. Think of it like baking a cake. You need all the ingredients in the right proportions for success. Leave one out and the entire recipe fails. These manifestation laws work the same way. Each one is essential, and they must be applied together as a unified system. These laws work together as a system, and understanding their relationship is key to successful manifestation. When you grasp this matrix as a whole, you'll see why your previous manifestation attempts have fallen short, and more importantly, exactly what to adjust to create consistent, powerful results. The first and most fundamental secret law of manifestation is the law of clarity. This is a law that I discuss pretty extensively in my episode on the 6 steps to manifest anything episode. This law states that the universe can only deliver to you what you can clearly conceive. Many people miss this crucial foundation and wonder why their manifestations never materialize. When your intention is vague, the results you receive will be equally vague or non-existent. It's like walking into a restaurant and telling the server, "I'd like some food." What will you get? Possibly something you don't want, possibly nothing at all. The universe operates in much the same way. Think of it this way: manifestation is essentially a matching process. The universe is constantly matching your vibration, your beliefs, and most importantly, your clear intentions. But here's where most people go wrong. They say things like, "I want more money," or "I want to be happy," without specifying what that actually means to them. Throughout my years hosting this podcast, I've noticed a consistent pattern among guests and clients who successfully manifest their desires. They all possess an extraordinary ability to articulate exactly what they want. They don't just want a better job, they can describe the specific role, company culture, salary range, and how they would feel walking into that office each day. They don't just want a relationship, they can articulate the exact qualities, interactions, and emotional dynamics they desire. This precision creates a clear vibrational template for the universe to match. Without it, you're essentially sending out a fuzzy, static-filled broadcast and hoping the universe can interpret what you want. It can't. Clarity is the tuning mechanism that allows your desires to be received and reflected back to you with accuracy. Now, I want to give you a clarity exercise you can do immediately after this video. Take one desire, something you've been trying to manifest, write it down at the top of a page. Then ask yourself these 6 clarifying questions. First, what exactly do I want? Be as specific as possible. Second, how will I know when I've received it? What tangible evidence will confirm it? Third, how will having this make me feel? List at least 5 emotions. Fourth, what will this allow me to do or experience that I can't right now? And fifth, why is this aligned with my highest good? And sixth, what am I willing to give or become in order to receive this? When you answer these questions in detail, something remarkable happens. Your desire transforms from a vague wish into a crystallized intention that carries manifestation power. Your subconscious mind has clear instructions, and the universe has a precise frequency to match. Several quantum physicists that I've talked to have explained it this way: consciousness collapses quantum probability waves. The more precisely we can define what we're looking for, the more likely that particular outcome will materialize from the field of possibilities. I've seen this principle at work countless times in my own life and in the lives of listeners who have shared their stories with me. When they shifted from general wishes to crystal clear intentions, their manifestation success increased dramatically. It's not unusual to hear someone say, "Once I got absolutely clear on what I wanted, it seemed like the universe conspired to bring it to me." But here's an important insight: clarity alone is not enough, which brings us to the second secret law. You can have perfect clarity about what you want, but you're not vibrationally aligned with it. Manifestation remains frustratingly out of reach. That's where our next law comes in. Now, I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you tried to manifest something but kept your intentions fuzzy? Perhaps because you were afraid of disappointment, if you got too specific. This pattern of safe vagueness might be the very thing blocking your manifestation power. We've just covered the law of clarity, but this is just the first of our 10 secret laws. Law number 4 is particularly misunderstood, yet it's crucial for activating all the others. Many people actually resist this law because it challenges the passive approach to manifestation that's become so popular. Remember, we're building a complete system here. Each law we cover adds another essential piece to the matrix, and by the end, you'll have a comprehensive framework that transforms how you interact with reality itself. Now that we understand the critical foundation of clarity, let's explore the next 2 laws that work in tandem to create a fascinating paradox at the heart of successful manifestation. The second secret law is the law of vibrational alignment. This law states that you don't attract what you want, you attract what you're in energetic resonance with. Your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and energy state must align with your desire for it to manifest. Think about it like tuning a radio. You can't receive a station broadcasting at 98.6 FM if your dial is set to 107.3 FM. No matter how much you want to hear that station, no matter how clearly you can describe the music you want to hear, if your vibrational frequency doesn't match, connection is impossible. This is why sometimes the things you want most desperately seem to elude you. Your desperation creates a frequency of lack, not abundance. Your dominant vibration might be saying, "I don't have this," while your words are saying, "I want this." The universe responds to your vibration, not your words. Many spiritual traditions have understood this principle for thousands of years. In the Vedic traditions, they speak of becoming the change you wish to see. Jesus taught that you must believe you have already received what you pray for. Quantum physicists reveal that observation affects reality at its most fundamental level. Consciousness itself is creative. But here's where the paradox enters with our third secret law, the law of detached intention. This law reveals that while vibrational alignment is essential, attachment to outcomes creates resistance that blocks manifestation. You must care deeply about your intention while simultaneously releasing your grip on exactly how and when it arrives. Now, I have taught that you can specifically create dates for your manifesting. I have an episode on manifesting money in 24 hours and manifesting anything you want in 3 days. And those can work. Those have a very specific energetic alignment that's required. But in general, when you're manifesting with a specific date in mind, it is much more difficult. This paradox confuses many people. How can I be aligned with something I want so much, yet detached from receiving it? The answer lies in understanding the difference between attachment and alignment. Attachment comes from fear and doubt. It's the constant checking, the anxiety about results, the desperation for control. Alignment, on the other hand, comes from trust and inner knowing. It's the calm confidence that what you desire is already yours in energetic form, making its way to you through the perfect channels. Imagine planting a seed in your garden. You must first have clarity about what you're planting. An apple seed won't grow into an orange tree no matter how much you visualize oranges. This is the law of clarity. Then you must provide the right conditions, proper soil, water, sunlight, that vibrationally match what the seed needs to flourish. This is the law of vibrational alignment. But here's the crucial part. After planting, you don't dig up the seed every day to check its progress. You don't stand over it demanding it grow faster. That interference would prevent growth. Instead, you trust the natural process while continuing to provide the right conditions. This is the law of detached intention. Now, I want to give you a practical tool called the alignment audit that will help you determine if you're vibrationally aligned with your desires. Take a moment to think about something you're trying to manifest. Then ask yourself these questions. When I think about having this desire fulfilled, does it feel natural or forced? Do I catch myself saying, "but," after I affirm my desire? I want financial abundance, but it's so hard to make money. Do my daily thoughts, conversations, and actions reflect someone who has already fulfilled their desire? Do I feel anxious or peaceful when I think about my desire manifesting? Do I truly believe that this desire can become my reality? Your honest answers will reveal whether you're in vibrational alignment or creating resistance. Remember, the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being. Neuroscience has shown that our brains cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you practice being in the state of already having received your desire, the law of assumption, which is explained by Neville Goddard, then your brain creates a new neural pathway that actually shifts your vibration to match that reality. The law of detached intention might be the most challenging to master because our ego minds are programmed for attachment. But this detachment isn't apathy. It's supreme trust in the perfect unfolding of your manifestation, coupled with the wisdom to allow it to come in ways that might surprise and delight you beyond your limited imagination. Together, these two laws create the perfect balance of magnetic attraction and allowing a balance that is essential for powerful manifestation. But even with perfect clarity, vibrational alignment, and detached intention, there's still a critical element missing. That's where the fourth secret law comes in. The fourth law is where manifestation practice often falls short for so many people. This is the law of inspired action, and it's the bridge between the energetic world where intentions begin and the physical world where they materialize. Here's a truth that might challenge what you've heard elsewhere. Manifestation is not a passive process. The universe doesn't simply deliver your desires while you sit back and wait. This misconception has led countless people to feel frustrated when their vision boards and affirmations don't magically transform their lives. The law of inspired action states that manifestation requires a partnership between your consciousness and your physical engagement with the world. Your clear intentions, vibrational alignment, and detached trust create the energetic foundation, but action is what brings these energies into physical form. But, and this is crucial, not all action is created equal. There's a profound difference between forced action and inspired action. Forced action comes from fear, desperation, or rigid control. It feels heavy, draining, and often involves pushing against resistance. When you're taking forced actions, you're likely to encounter obstacle after obstacle, as if the universe itself is asking you to reconsider your approach. Inspired action, on the other hand, arises from your connection to higher consciousness. It feels light, energizing, and often appears as an intuitive nudge or spontaneous idea. Inspired actions tend to unfold with a sense of flow. Doors open unexpectedly, synchronicities multiply, and what you need appears just as you need it. Forced action is like trying to paddle upstream against a powerful current. You might make progress through sheer effort, but you will exhaust yourself in the process. Inspired action is like navigating your boat into the natural flow of the river. You still need to steer and adjust your course, but the current itself carries you toward your destination. One of the most profound insights I've gathered from talking to so many spiritual teachers across traditions is that inspired action often doesn't look like what we'd expect. Sometimes the most powerful action is to rest when your intuition suggests it. Other times it might guide you to have a seemingly random conversation that later proves to be pivotal. The ego mind wants a linear path, but inspired action often follows a more elegant spiraling pattern that only makes sense in retrospect. I've observed a fascinating pattern among many master manifestors. They don't just visualize and affirm what they want, they create daily practices that heighten their receptivity to inspired action. They understand that these intuitive nudges are how the universe communicates the fastest path to manifestation. Here's a simple practice you can begin immediately to recognize and follow intuitive nudges. Each morning, after you've set your intentions and aligned your vibration, ask yourself, what one action feels most energizing or exciting today in relation to my desires? Not what you think you should do, but what genuinely calls to you. It might be as simple as sending an email, making a phone call, or exploring a new location. Then, throughout the day, notice moments of heightened energy, spontaneous ideas, or persistent thoughts. These are often your intuition speaking. When you receive such a nudge, take immediate action if possible, even if it's just making a note to do it later. In the evening, reflect on the actions you took and what resulted from them. Look for synchronicities, unexpected connections, or surprising developments. This reflection trains your mind to recognize the pattern of inspired action in your life. What happens when you practice this consistently is remarkable. You become increasingly attuned to the subtle language of intuition. You learn to distinguish between the voice of fear and the voice of guidance. And perhaps most importantly, you develop the courage to follow inspired action, even when it doesn't make logical sense to your limited perspective. This law reveals why two people can use identical manifestation techniques with dramatically different results. One person might be ignoring inspired action altogether, while the other follows each intuitive nudge with courageous trust. The law of inspired action requires a delicate balance, being proactive without being controlling, receptive without being passive. It's about co-creating with the universe rather than merely placing an order and waiting for delivery. As you master this fourth law, you will notice a profound shift. Manifestation becomes less about making things happen and more about allowing yourself to be guided to your desires through joyful action. This is where manifestation transforms from an occasional success to a consistent way of living. But even with these four powerful laws in place, there's still more to the complete matrix of manifestation. The fifth law addresses a fundamental principle that amplifies everything we've covered so far. As we pause here, I invite you to take a moment and reflect on which of these four laws resonates most deeply with you right now. Is it the law of clarity, where you recognize that your intentions have been too vague? Perhaps it's the law of vibrational alignment, where you realize there's a disconnect between what you say you want and the energy you're actually embodying. Maybe the law of detached intention struck a chord, highlighting how your attachment to outcomes has been creating resistance. Or possibly the law of inspired action reveals why your manifestation practice hasn't been producing tangible results. Whatever law speaks to you most powerfully represents your current growth edge, the area where focusing your attention will create the greatest shift in your abilities to manifest. This reflection isn't just an intellectual exercise, it's a compass pointing you towards your next breakthrough. The first four laws we've covered form the foundation of conscious creation. They establish how you relate to your desires and how you engage with the manifestation process. But the next law represents a crucial shift in how we approach manifestation altogether. It moves us from focusing on what we want to receive to understanding the magnetic power of what we already have. This perspective shift is so profound that many spiritual traditions consider it the master key to abundance in all forms. The fifth secret law of manifestation is the law of gratitude amplification. This principle reveals that gratitude isn't just a pleasant emotional state. It's a powerful creative force that actually accelerates and amplifies the manifestation process. When we examine manifestation from an energy perspective, we discover something fascinating. Gratitude operates at one of the highest vibrational frequencies available to human consciousness. When you experience genuine gratitude, you instantly shift from a state of wanting to a state of having. This vibrational shift is transformative because the universe responds not to what you want, but to what you're broadcasting as your current reality. Here's where most people misunderstand gratitude's role in manifestation. They believe gratitude is something you express after you receive what you want. But those who master manifestation understand that gratitude is most powerful when expressed before your desire has physically materialized. This isn't about falsely pretending you already have something. It's about genuinely appreciating the energetic essence of your desire that exists right now. Ancient traditions have long understood this. In the Vedic tradition, they speak of treating the seed with the same reverence as the fully grown tree. In quantum terms, you're acknowledging the waveform of your desire before it collapses into particle reality. I suggest that each morning identify 3 things you're manifesting that haven't appeared in physical form. Then spend just a couple minutes genuinely feeling gratitude for each of these as if they've already manifested. Notice the sensations in your body as you connect with this gratitude. This isn't mechanical, it's a full-bodied experience of your appreciation. The key is to find genuine gratitude, not manufactured pretending. For example, if you're manifesting a new home, don't force gratitude for a house you don't have. Instead, feel genuine gratitude for the security, comfort, and joy that this home represents. Qualities that exist as potentials in your energetic field right now. A common misconception about gratitude in manifestation is that it's primarily about being thankful for what you already have in order to create a positive mindset. While this is beneficial, it misses the deeper mechanisms at work. Gratitude doesn't just change your psychology. It changes your energetic broadcast to the universe. It shifts you from a frequency of lack to a frequency of abundance, which is precisely what allows your desires to magnetize you. Think of gratitude as a metaphysical technology, not just an emotion. When you express gratitude for something, you're essentially saying to the universe, "More of this, please." Every time you feel genuine appreciation, you're activating a powerful attraction principle that begins drawing more of that essence towards you. I once spoke with a quantum physicist who described this process beautifully. He said, "Gratitude is acknowledgement of a reality that already exists in potential form. This acknowledgement strengthens the quantum probability of that potential becoming actualized in your experience. In simpler terms, what you appreciate appreciates." The law of gratitude amplification transforms manifestation from a process of trying to get what you don't have into a process of celebrating what already exists in energetic form. This shift alone will dramatically accelerate your manifestation results. The 6th secret law takes us even deeper into the manifestation process, the law of belief integration. This law addresses why people often sabotage their own manifestations despite their best conscious efforts. At its core, this law states that your conscious desires must be integrated with your subconscious beliefs to manifest effectively. When there's misalignment between what you consciously want and what you subconsciously believe is possible or deserved, the subconscious will always win. And most of the time, in many of my coaching calls, I find that this particular law is the one that's being violated. Now, neuroscience helps us understand why. Your subconscious mind processes information at approximately 20 million bits per second, while your conscious mind handles only about 40 bits per second. This means your subconscious beliefs are exponentially more powerful in shaping your reality than your conscious intentions. Many spiritual traditions have recognized this principle. In Hinduism, they speak of samskaras, deeply ingrained mental and emotional patterns that shape your reality. Buddhism addresses these as the seeds of karma that continue to produce experiences until they're transformed. There is a practical application technique called belief archaeology that helps uncover and integrate limiting beliefs. Take a desire you've been struggling to manifest and ask yourself, if this desire were impossible for me to achieve, what would be the reason? Write down whatever comes to mind without censoring. Now look at what you've written. These responses reveal your limiting beliefs, the subconscious programming that's been overriding your conscious intentions. Common examples include beliefs like, I'm too old, people like me don't have financial abundance, or I'm not the kind of person who attracts healthy relationships. The next step is integration, not fighting against these beliefs, but compassionately acknowledging them and then gently introducing new evidence that can help your subconscious update its programming. Each time you notice evidence that contradicts your limiting beliefs, consciously highlight it for your subconscious mind. Once you start focusing on those particular beliefs, almost like you're having a conversation with the subconscious, your reticular activating system will find additional information to give to your subconscious to convince it that your conscious mind is correct. A common misconception about beliefs in manifestation is that you must eliminate all negative beliefs. This creates an adversarial relationship with your own subconscious and often strengthens the very beliefs you're trying to change. Integration is more effective than elimination because it honors the protective purpose these beliefs once served while inviting your subconscious to update its outdated information. Think of your subconscious beliefs like the operating system of a computer. Your conscious desires are like applications you're trying to run. If your operating system isn't compatible with the application, it simply won't function properly no matter how much you want it to. The law of belief integration is about updating your internal operating system so it supports rather than sabotages your conscious intentions. I like to illustrate this principle with the metaphor of gardening. You might consciously want to grow beautiful roses, but if your subconscious belief is that your soil can only support weeds, you'll unconsciously create conditions that fulfill that belief. You might forget to water the roses, plant them in poor soil, or neglect them in subtle ways you don't even notice. The solution isn't to force the roses to grow through sheer willpower, but to transform your beliefs about what your garden can support. The law of belief integration reminds us that manifestation isn't about focusing on what we want. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts and maintains what we desire through aligned belief systems. The seventh secret law takes us into a fascinating intersection of quantum physics and consciousness, the law of quantum possibility. This principle reveals that until observed, all possibilities exist simultaneously in a state of superposition. This law illuminates why observation, where you place your conscious attention, is such a critical element in manifestation. Your focus literally collapses quantum potential into experienced reality. As the renowned physicist Werner Heisenberg noted in the uncertainty principle, the act of observation affects the observed reality. When you truly grasp this law, you realize that your future isn't a fixed destination. It's an infinite field of possibilities waiting to be collapsed into form through your conscious and subconscious observation. What you habitually focus on plays a crucial role in determining which possibilities materialize in your life. Here's where quantum physics and ancient wisdom converge. Many mystical traditions have taught that reality exists first as potentiality before manifesting as actuality. The Vedantic concept of Maya suggests that the physical world emerges from an underlying field of pure potentiality. Modern quantum physics offers a similar perspective, describing reality as probability waves that collapse into particles only when observed. A practical application technique is possibility tuning, which can help you leverage this law. Spend 10 minutes daily in a meditative state, consciously expanding your awareness of possibilities beyond what your logical mind believes is likely. Don't try to force specific outcomes. Instead, cultivate an open, receptive awareness of unexplored potentials. As you practice, you will notice your mind wants to immediately dismiss certain possibilities as unlikely or impossible. This is your consciousness attempting to collapse potential into a familiar reality based on past experiences. Instead, hold these possibilities in a state of superposition by simply acknowledging this is one possibility among many. A common misconception about quantum manifestation is that you can instantly manifest anything just by observing it. This misunderstands the relationship between quantum and classical physics. While quantum possibilities do respond instantly to observation, manifestation often involves a transition from quantum to classical realms, which typically unfold over time through a series of collapsed probability waves. Think of it like this. When you drop a pebble in a pond, the ripple begins immediately at the quantum level, but it takes time to reach the shore in the classical world. Your observation starts a chain reaction that eventually materializes as physical reality. I find the metaphor of a radio receiver particularly useful, though many don't quite understand it because so many people don't listen to the radio anymore. All radio frequencies exist simultaneously in any given space, but you only experience the station you're tuned to receive. Your consciousness is the tuner, determining which frequency band of reality you experience from the infinite possibilities that exist. When you shift your consciousness through belief, emotion, intention, and attention, you literally tune to a different frequency of experience. The law of quantum possibility liberates us from deterministic thinking and opens us to the creative power of consciousness itself. It reminds us that the future isn't something that happens to us. It's something we participate in creating through our moment-to-moment observations and expectations. These three laws, gratitude, amplification, belief integration, and quantum possibility, create a powerful triad that transforms how we engage with the manifestation process. Rather than seeing ourselves as separate from what we desire, we recognize our intimate connection to the field of all possibilities and our pivotal role in bringing specific possibilities into form through conscious creation. But our journey through manifestation isn't complete yet. The next three laws address the crucial elements that many people overlook entirely: the hidden dynamics that can either amplify or undermine everything we've covered so far. There's an important connection between these laws that isn't immediately obvious when we examine them individually. What I've discovered through years of research is that these laws don't just work in sequence. They form an integrated system where each law amplifies and enables the others in a continuous feedback loop. Think about how these 7 laws we've covered so far interact. The law of clarity creates the blueprint of manifestation. The laws for vibrational alignment and detached intention establish your energetic relationship with that blueprint. The law of inspired action bridges the gap between energy and physical reality. The law of gratitude amplification accelerates the entire process by shifting your frequency. The law of belief integration ensures your subconscious mind supports rather than sabotages your intentions. And the law of quantum possibility expands your awareness of what is actually available to you beyond your current perception. When these laws work together harmoniously, something remarkable happens. Manifestation stops being something you do and becomes something you live. It transforms from an occasional technique into your natural way of being. I've observed in those who master these principles, they don't experience manifestation as creating something from nothing. Rather, they experience it as tuning into and expressing what already exists in potential form. It's similar to how we've evolved our understanding of electricity. Early humans saw lightning as a mysterious force beyond comprehension. Later, we recognized it as a natural phenomenon we could observe but not control. And eventually, we understood it well enough to harness its power in transformative ways. Your manifestation ability evolves along a similar trajectory as you integrate these laws into your consciousness. But even with these 7 powerful laws in place, there are still 3 critical elements missing from the complete manifestation matrix. These final 3 laws address the reasons why manifestation often stalls or backfires, even when you're applying all the principles we've covered so far. The final 3 laws complete the picture in a powerful way by addressing the hidden dynamics that most manifestation teachings ignore entirely. They reveal why some desires manifest quickly, while others remain frustratingly out of reach. Why certain patterns keep repeating in your life despite your best efforts to change them, and why timing plays such a crucial role in successful manifestation. As we explore these final pieces of the matrix, you'll gain a comprehensive understanding of the complete system that governs how consciousness creates reality. The eighth secret law of manifestation is the law of energetic clearing. This principle reveals that creating space is just as important as creating intention in the manifestation process. When your energetic field is cluttered with unresolved emotions, limiting beliefs, and attachments to past experiences, there's simply no room for new manifestations to enter. This law aligns with findings across multiple fields. Neuroscience shows that unprocessed emotions create persistent activation patterns in the limbic system, consuming valuable cognitive and energetic resources. Psychologists have documented how unresolved trauma creates subconscious patterns that continually reproduce similar circumstances. Eastern energy medicine traditions have long recognized that emotional and energetic blockages in our subtle body directly impact our ability to manifest new experiences. This principle is often overlooked in manifestation teachings because our culture emphasizes addition over subtraction. We're constantly told to add more, but rarely advised to clear what's already filling our energetic container. It's like trying to pour fresh water into a cup that's already full of stagnant water. No matter how pure the new water, it can't fully express its qualities when mixed with what's already there. The law of energetic clearing directly addresses one of the most frustrating manifestation challenges: repeating patterns. When you find yourself manifesting the same disappointing situations despite your best efforts to create something new, it's almost always because of uncleared energetic patterns operating beneath your conscious awareness. These patterns act like powerful magnets, continuously drawing similar experiences regardless of your conscious intentions. So what I recommend is set aside 20 minutes in a quiet space where you won't be disrupted. Bring to mind a pattern that keeps appearing in your life, despite your efforts to change it. Close your eyes and ask, what emotion am I still carrying related to this pattern? Allow yourself to fully feel whatever arises without resistance. Then ask, what am I still holding onto that's keeping this pattern in place? Listen deeply for the answer. It might be an old story about yourself, a grudge, a fear, or an obligation that no longer serves you. Once identified, consciously declare your intention to release it, visualizing it leaving your energy field completely. I have found the number one reason in many cases that people are not manifesting what they want is because they carry resentments, and that resentment becomes an energetic block that they have to remove before they can have what they want. The key insight of the law of energetic clearing is that manifestation isn't just about what you add to your life. It's equally about what you're willing to release. Every time you clear old energy, you create space for new possibilities to enter. The ninth secret law is the law of compounding manifestation. This principle reveals that manifestation ability increases exponentially through successful iterations, creating a powerful momentum that accelerates future manifestations. Research in neuroplasticity demonstrates that neural pathways strengthen with repeated use. Each time you successfully manifest something, you strengthen the neural networks associated with that process, making subsequent manifestations easier and more efficient. Studies in positive psychology show that success experiences create an upward spiral effect, enhancing belief, expectation, and motivation, all critical factors in manifestation. This law is frequently overlooked because most manifestation teachings focus on individual isolated manifestations rather than the cumulative process of becoming a more powerful manifestor over time. People often become discouraged when their ambitions don't immediately materialize, not realizing they're trying to run before they've learned to walk in terms of manifestation skill. The law of compounding manifestation addresses the common challenge of inconsistent results. Many people experience occasional successful manifestations but can't reliably repeat the process. They wonder, why did it work that time but not this time? The answer often lies in trying to manifest things too far beyond their current manifestation muscle, rather than gradually building that capacity through progressive success. Begin by identifying small, believable manifestations that stretch your current beliefs slightly but don't trigger significant doubt or resistance. Successfully manifest these smaller desires, fully acknowledging and celebrating each success. This will strengthen your manifestation ability and build momentum. Gradually increase the scope of your manifestations as your confidence and evidence base grows. Think of it like compound interest in a financial investment. Small, consistent successes accumulate over time into remarkable manifestation power. This progressive approach ensures you're constantly operating at the edge of your belief system, expanding it through experience rather than trying to force beliefs you can't yet embody. The key insight of the law of compounding manifestation is that becoming a powerful manifester is a developmental process. Each successful manifestation doesn't just bring you the thing you desired, it fundamentally upgrades your capacity to manifest in the future. The 10th and final secret law is the law of sacred timing. This principle reveals that manifestation unfolds according to its own divine timing, which often differs from our ego's preferred schedule. Everything manifests in its perfect timing, not always according to your timeline. The ancient traditions across cultures recognize this principle. The I Ching speaks of natural timing and the wisdom of knowing when to act versus when to wait. Taoists emphasize Wu Wei, non-forcing, as a fundamental principle of harmonious manifestation. Modern chaos theory and system science have demonstrated that complex systems have their own timing for change, often requiring specific conditions to align before transformation occurs. This law frequently is overlooked in our instant gratification culture. I do say that you can manifest in a shorter period of time, particularly now because of our elevated consciousness as we shift into a new earth environment. And I do say that you can manifest money in 24 hours and many things within 3 days, but it is much more difficult. If you don't have to bring a timeline into your manifestation, it is more likely to manifest. The law of sacred timing addresses one of the most common challenges: the anxiety and doubt that arise when desired outcomes don't appear quickly. This anxiety often derails the entire process by shifting your vibration from trust to fear, from allowing to forcing. When you set an intention, explicitly release attachment to when it manifests with this declaration: this or something better manifests in divine perfect timing for the highest good of all concerned. Then rather than anxiously monitoring for results, focus on recognizing the stepping stones appearing along your path. These stepping stones are the people, opportunities, insights, and experiences that are preparing you to receive your manifestation. By appreciating these preparatory elements, you align with the natural timing of your manifestation rather than resisting it. This shift from resistance to cooperation accelerates the manifestation process while ensuring you're fully prepared to receive and sustain what you've asked for. The key insight of this law of sacred timing is that delays in manifestation aren't denials. They're often divine protection. What appears as a frustrating delay from your limited perspective may actually be the universe orchestrating the perfect conditions for your desire to manifest in the most beneficial way. These final 3 laws, energetic clearing, compounding manifestation, and sacred timing, complete the manifestation matrix by addressing the subtler dynamics that determine your ultimate manifestation success. They transform manifestation from hit or miss technique into a comprehensive lifestyle of conscious creation in harmony with universal principles. We've now explored all 10 secret laws of manifestation, each revealing a crucial dimension of how consciousness interacts with reality to create our lived experience. Together, these laws form a complete system of manifestation that addresses every aspect of the creative process from initial intention to physical manifestation. When you understand and apply these 10 laws together, manifestation transforms from an occasional unpredictable event into a natural expression of who you are. These aren't separate techniques to be applied mechanically. They're interdependent principles that work simultaneously to align your entire being, consciously and subconsciously, energetic and physical, with what you wish to create. The ultimate purpose of manifestation is not accumulation, it's transformation. Each desire you manifest is actually the universe's way of calling you into a greater alignment with your authentic self. When you approach manifestation from this perspective, you enter a profound partnership with the creative forces of the universe itself. Now, before we conclude, I want to share a special insight that transcends all 10 laws. It's the observer effect of consciousness. This principle reveals that your relationship with the manifestation process itself profoundly impacts your results. When you approach manifestation from a place of desperation or neediness, seeing it as something external that you must master to fix your life, you create a fundamental separation that undermines the entire process. But when you recognize manifestation as the natural expression of who you truly are, a conscious creator, everything transforms. This shift in perspective changes manifestation from something you do to something you are. The most powerful manifestors don't see themselves as separate from the process. They recognize themselves as the embodiment of that process. Think about how differently you would approach manifestation if you truly understood that you are not separate from the universe, but are the localized expression of it. Consciousness experiencing itself through your unique, individualized perspective. From this understanding, manifestation becomes remembering rather than acquiring, allowing rather than controlling, being rather than doing. You are a localized expression of the same creative force that created the universe, this planet, galaxies. You are that power. If you have found value in today's exploration, you'll want to check out my future episodes on manifestation. And I'm genuinely curious about your experience with these principles. Which of these 10 laws resonates most with your journey? Share in the comments. Your insights not only help our community learn from each other, but they also help me to understand what aspects of manifestation you'd like to explore further in future episodes. Remember, these laws aren't just concepts to learn. They're principles to live. And as you integrate them into your consciousness, you will discover that manifestation isn't something you're trying to master, it's the natural expression of who you truly are. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the secret laws of manifestation. Until next time, I remind you that reality is revolutionized when you recognize yourself as its creator. Welcome to the Reality Revolution.